All right, we don't want to get stranded this summer, so this is what we're going to talk about your road trip. Brian Bowersox is here, and we're going to talk, since you are the expert, you know everything there is to know about getting your car ready for any kind of a trip. So this summer, how do you get ready? You know what, not even if you're going to go on any kind of a long trip. If you're traveling in San Diego County, you could experience temperature changes of 40 degrees. I mean, it can be 65 at the beach and 105 in Borrego.
Absolutely.
So, and if you're traveling anywhere in California, unless you're going right up 101 and 1, you're going to get some heat.
Yeah, and you may get stuck in traffic, which often raises the temperature of the vehicle.
Had that happen, and you see it all the time. You never think it's going to be you, but you'll see cars on the side of the road, and they're not old cars in a lot of cases. There's some newer ones, and they're steaming. So what's the first thing we do?
Well, one of the first things we do, we're concerned coming into the summer about the cooling system.
Right.
There's some really simple things you can do. Flushing the coolant yearly if it's regular green coolant, or every 5 years or 60,000 miles if it's extended life coolant.
So there are differences in coolant. I remember the days, believe it or not, when we used to just put water in there in the summertime and didn't use any. But you had to change it twice a year. You had to make sure you got your antifreeze in. I was born, raised in the cold country, so a lot of cracked blocks.
Yeah,
people would forget.
That's correct.
But so you should flush the radiator, right?
Absolutely.
Replace and flush that cooling system.
And replace the thermostat, and the radiator caps are good.
Did you bring a thermostat?
Yeah, we got a thermostat
I see one
laying right there upside down.
I see a thermostat here on the table with us there.
You sure do.
Let's move this out of the way. There's that thermostat.
Thermostat and radiator cap. Two very simple items. Thermostat is a mechanical thermostat. What happens is it has a pellet. It opens from temperature. So open and closing all the time. Every time you car's cold, it closes, starts up to allow the car to warm to operating temperature quickly, then it opens, allows the coolant to flow.
That doesn't look any different than the ones I remember replacing a long time ago. They haven't changed much.
They have not changed much at all.
And so they can still go bad after a certain amount of time.
What happens is from opening and closing, they bind or stick open or stick shut, which causes an overheat situation, which obviously is a big no-no.
And what do they cost?
Thermostats themselves vary depending on what kind of car you drive nowadays. Anywhere from about $12 up to $80.
Yeah, so
depending on what it is.
It's certainly not worth leaving there.
No, definitely not. It's very simple maintenance that should be done. Keeps your vehicle in good working order, along with the cooling system flush. Coolant keeps vehicle cool. It's important.
Now, you mentioned the coolant, and you mentioned there are different kinds. There are the 5-year coolants as well as the regular, which is once a year, huh?
Correct. Most manufacturers have gone to what's called an extended life coolant. GM, Ford, Toyota, they call it a 5-year, 100,000-mile coolant. We typically recommend 5 years, 60,000 miles. It does wear out. It doesn't last for forever.
So if you're buying a used vehicle, that's something you definitely want to check out. And obviously if you're going on a trip,
correct.
Be aware of this.
We actually have a litmus test that you can check coolant with to check to see how well it's standing up. Correct. Along with several other fluids.
So I can come to West Escondido Automotive and Transmissions, and you can do that.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yep.
I don't have to worry about it then.
There you go.
Okay, and your air filter, you see you have an air filter here. Now, there's a lot of different air filters.
There's a lot of different kinds of air filters. This is a newer Ford, seeing the F-150s, stuff like that. Air filter keeps the dirt from going into your motor. If you don't service it regularly, obviously it can be an issue. And these are just some really great things to get checked. You know, for your summertime, you're getting ready to go on your trip.
Can you do that yourself these days? Some you can just pop the top off, drop it in.
Buried inside there. Some are very simple, though, correct.
Yeah, so, again, it's a real simple thing to do, and it can save you a lot of time and trouble and money.
Correct, correct.
And then tire pressure. I always hear about that. Every time you fill up your gas tank, I was told by my father 1,000 years ago, always check your tire pressure. You should be checking your tire pressure regularly. Number one, it can save you gas. We know that. Low tires take up a lot of power from the vehicle, cause you gas. You can wear tires, but the main thing is to obviously save gas, not have issues where you have an overfull or low tire, to have a tire blowout, especially in the summer heat on a trip. So what we recommend is check your tires regularly, make sure they're set. You want to do it when the tires are cool, not after extended periods of driving. Some tires now, they're putting nitrogen in them, which is an inert gas, which is a great thing. It doesn't go up and down. In a situation where a tire's low, even though it has nitrogen in it, you can add regular air to it. You can. Correct. That was going to be my next question. Correct. You're answering it. You must be reading my mind. I'm trying. Now, a tire pressure gauge. Should you? Are they all pretty much the same? Or
you know, to keep in your vehicle, you can buy a 99-cent gauge from any of the auto parts stores.
That'll get you close enough?
That'll get you close enough. Close enough.
All right, all right. And usually, you know, you say, well, how do I know what my tires are supposed to have? Sometimes it's written on the tire, but it's also on the inside of the door.
Inside of the door, what the vehicle manufacturer recommends for your tires. Tires typically have also the pressure on them, the max PSI.
Yeah, I would imagine if you have a different set of tires, you should always check your tires. I've seen them different.
Correct.
I've had some cars where there's been a different pressure, you know,
especially if you change rims and tire makeup, low profiles, things like that, then the pressure changes on.
Right, right.
Correct.
Okay, well, now you know. All right, so West Escondido Automotive and Transmission, you can go there. Of course, if you don't trust yourself, and I wouldn't. Trust me for a second. It's so much easier.
It's very
Just drop it off, have Brian take care of it, go have a cup of coffee and relax. All right, thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Joe.
Appreciate it.